Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. This is David Pendleton again, and today I'm going to give you a pro walkthrough for the Summer Major Tournament. And I'm really excited about this walkthrough because I have a lot of holes dialed in, especially for a Wednesday. Now it's just about hitting perfect and putting it all together. So like on both my accounts, I shot a minus 13. But the funny part about that is like I dropped different holes on each account. So if we can put that together, I'm thinking a minus 15 is a realistic score, and that's going to put us in a very competitive spot to win gold in this particular tournament. So if you find this helpful, please subscribe. I'm getting close to 800, so please help me get there. And secondly, this is a big tournament. It takes a lot of time to put these shots together. If you find this helpful, please donate to my channel, guys. It really helps me out, and it makes these things worth my time. And you can do that by checking out the comment section where I put a link to my PayPal. So please help me out in both those regards. It would be much appreciated. But let's talk about this for a moment. Hole number 1, we have a really good line for an eagle. We'll talk about hole number 2, which is an automatic birdie. And we'll see if, as a community, we can come up with a way to hole-in-one that one. Hole number 3, people are struggling on. There hasn't been one opponent that I've faced that's gotten the eagle. They've all birdied. I'm going to show you how to avoid that. Hole 4, I dropped on my other account. I missed it on this account. That's a good line for an eagle. Hole 5, I dropped on my other account, missed it on this account. That's a really good opportunity for a hole-in-one. I just hit a great shot on this account. Super pissed off about that. Hole 6, automatic eagle with a good chance for an albatross. Hole 7, there is a funnel. I'm going to show you that. Hole 8, we have a good line for a hole-in-one, and hole 9 is going to be an automatic eagle as well. So a lot of people are struggling on this tournament, and, I'm going to show you how not to struggle. So let's go ahead and hop into hole number 1. So hole number 1 is a par 4, and here's what I want you to know about this hole, is you're going to play both shots at 10% elevation. Shot number 1, whatever driver you use, if you're using an extra mile, I would suggest going about 6 bars of top spin and then as much left spin as possible with a little bit of overpower and half a ball left curl. So let's watch. Okay, so you can see with this drive, no chance of running into the rough. So you can use as much top spin as you want, as much left spin, half a ball overpower, half a ball left curl, and that's going to set us up for shot number 2. Shot number 2, you're going to play at max distance with your sniper, and I'm going to show you how to pick up the eagle. Now, do I think this is going to be a consistent eagle every single time? No way. But I do feel we're at a really good spot. So I want you to check out where I'm lining up. I am dead center of the cup right now with my ball guideline. And then fast forward a little bit. I adjust 10%. Hit a clean, perfect ball. And let's watch what happens. And remember, this is dead center of pin. The speed is good, but we just missed to the left. So here is today, same spin. So we put 3 bars of right spin on. But I want you to pay attention now on what I decide to do here, and this is called offsetting. So notice how I don't have my ball guideline going through the pin anymore. I've put it outside of the cup, but touching the right-hand edge of the cup. And, I was hoping this would help me not miss left. Okay, so we hit a perfect ball. And we snuck it in the right-hand edge of the cup there. So, what does that mean? I think we can use that same ball guideline or even maybe move it inside the cup a little bit, but to the right of the pin. And we're going to be really good for a good line eagle on that hole. So there's hole number one. I would say if you get that to drop one time in the finals out of your 2 shots, that's going to be a huge advantage in this tournament. So, okay, so hole number 2. Now, hole number 2, I'm going to give you guys 2 ways to play it. The first way is going to be with a quarterback rough bump. And the way that I'm playing this quarterback rough bump is going to be 1 backspin and 1 sidebar of left spin. And then it's going to be really important to have a 1201 pull angle, because it seems that on this particular shot, if you hit a perfect ball, you miss left every single time, no matter what. So, let me show you what I'm talking about here real quick. And as far as elevation goes, here we're just going to be using 10% elevation. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I actually changed this to no elevation. I was missing too much. So I'm playing this no elevation and minimum distance of my quarterback. With this particular shot, it's a guaranteed birdie. But you can see here, I keep missing left, keep missing left, keep missing left. So, let me talk to you guys real quick about what I've tried to do. I've tried to take the left spin off. I've tried to move my ball guideline to the right-hand side of the pin, and it still missed left. I even moved my ball guideline 1 full green square to the right of the pin, and it still missed. The ball keeps coming in the same freaking area. I started this shot at 10% elevation, then I moved it down to 5, then I moved it down to 0, and then I kept moving my ball guideline around. No matter what, I can't get the ball to drop in the hole. So I am going to play this shot from now on, because it's going to be a much safer birdie. If you hit a great shot on that rough bump, I don't want you to accidentally end up in the sand or something stupid. And I can't get the shot to drop. I'm like 0 for 7 on that shot. So anytime I miss that many times on perfect shots, you just got to scrap it and try something different, which is what I did today. Now, I've only had 1 shot at this by doing it this way, but let me tell you my thoughts. Full right side spin, and just to find a very consistent landing spot, do you see how my thing says +1 right here by my target? So it says +1 yards. Just so I can shoot in the same spot every time, I'm going to move this down to +0. And then I'm going to move my rings 1 for 1. So right now we're at 5.6 miles an hour. I'm going to move my rings 5.6 rings. And then I'm going to take my shot. And then I'm going to see what happens. But with this particular shot right here, I would believe if you hit a great ball on either side, you're not going to be in any fear of missing the green. So I would say this hole right now, we're playing this as an automatic birdie. But I do like this approach right here better, because I do think we will find a funnel for a hole-in-one. Because as you can see here, the speed is really good, and we miss by half of a green square to the left. So my thoughts are, and I'll show you if you guys want to help me out, or if you want to try to do it on your own. But here's my thoughts. So, I had to write down, I take notes. So I write down at 5.6 miles per hour wind, I miss half a green square to the left, and then I take a screenshot of this right here, right there. So I take a screenshot of that. So my ball guideline, the very end here, is basically, call it almost splitting that dark green square. You see where the very tip of my ball guideline is? You see how it's in the dark green patch? Well, I know right there at 5.6 mile per hour wind, I miss half a ball to the right. So theoretically, what I need to do is I need to push that ball guideline up maybe to where it's at the very corner of the dark green square. So like kind of where the light green and the dark green meet. If I put it right there in the corner, then maybe I fall in for a hole in one. And that's what I'm going to start doing in the next rounds in order to dial in this shot and see what happens. Play it whichever way you want to. That's the way I'm playing it. Okay, hole 3, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of different looks at it because I think it's a really important hole. And I have not seen one opponent hit an eagle on this hole yet. That lets me know that either everybody I'm playing is playing really, really bad, or this is going to be a par 5 where we actually see a lot of birdies. But for you people watching this video, we are not going to birdie this hole. We're going to eagle this hole every single time, no matter what. Now, here's what I suggest, and if you're taking notes, write this down. If you have an extra mile 8 or below, I would recommend you using a Win 5 Power Zero ball. We need as much distance as possible in order to make the second shot easier. If you don't have a Win 5 Power Zero ball, no big deal. Pull out a Berserker. Pull out your most powerful ball with the least amount of wind resistance and just let this ball rip down the fairway, all right? If you're playing with an APOC 5, an extra mile 9, a Thor's Hammer 5 or 6, a Berserker ball is just fine. But for you people out there who have special balls and you have money balls, I don't typically recommend playing them in pro, but this is a freaking major. Let's go ahead and pull them out and see what happens. But I do want to show you with the Berserker is no problem. This is a free-to-play ball. You know, you can pick these up in the Golden Shot, so you don't have to pay for this ball. You know, my cat wants to go outside, but he's an indoor cat. We actually rescued him like 7-8 years ago, and he gets to call the wild to go outside still. So a lot of times I let him out on the deck, and he goes down and eats grass, and then I let him back in. But he's really asking to go outside right now. Okay, so there we are. So we ripped that ball down the fairway, 471 yards. You know, you just want to make sure that you push back up to max. You can adjust for 10% elevation, but then just make sure you push back up to max. Now, here's another drive with the new ball. And as you can see here, I'm just lining up down the middle of the fairway. Just for accuracy purposes, you know, I do adjust to 10%, and then I push back up to max. You know, we're just going full overpower and letting this baby fly. Now, you can see by using a wind resistance 0 ball how much more yards we get. I think we go almost 500, so 486. You know, so we're right in the wheelhouse. Now, let me show you 2 ways to get to the green. Both ways are very, very safe, but I need you to know, and you don't want to forget this, is you need to use 20% elevation whenever you take this shot. That's actually very, very important. So you don't go too far past the green. You need to pull these rings back 20%. Okay, so you can go to the right-hand side, and then you just want to adjust the spin until you find a decent ball guideline on the green. Just make sure you're on the green, because as you can see here, I started to run out of time. Using a little bit of left-hand curl, since I'm playing on the right-hand side. There it is. That's super simple putt for an eagle. Now, you know, as you can see here, if you look in the sand, you saw my opponent's little avatar there. I've seen a lot of people in the sand on this hole. But, you know, here, playing the left-hand side. Left-hand side is giving us a really good ball guideline. But again, that 20% pull is going to be key. As you can see, that was 7 miles an hour. And I pulled 9 rings. And that's a super simple chip in for an eagle. You know, so really pay attention to that hole, everybody. That's a really good eagle opportunity. And we're good to go. Okay, So hole number 4, the drive, 10%, second shot, 5%. I started playing this one 10%, 10%, and I was missing the second shot too much. So we're going to go 10% drive, 5% on the second shot. Now, I want you to notice here I have an extra mile 9, okay? And I don't use the benefits of that, on this hole. I bring down my top spin to only 6 bars of top spin. And then I use, right spin to go along with that. This is a very simple drive. The thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to hit this ball too far. This is a hole, and this is very important. This is a hole where you don't need distance to have an opportunity at the eagle, because no matter what, when we approach it this way, we're playing a rough bump for the second shot. And again, it's 5%. Don't get carried away on this and go overpower or use a powerful ball that puts you in the rough, because yeah, you're going to get a birdie, but you really, really limit yourself at the eagle. And here is the shot at 5%. I really like to use 1 bar of left side spin on this hole. And you can see here I'm aiming towards the left-hand side of the cup. So I just need to take some backspin off that one, and we're good to go. But that's a very simple shot, guys and gals. You can line that one up and just kind of dial it in. But I think that's going to be a really good eagle opportunity for us. All right, hole number 5. I'm going to show you 2 ways you can play this hole. Now, they're the exact same approach, okay? Exact same approach. And it's going to be 10% elevation. That's going to be key. 1 backspin, half a bar of left side spin. Power 1 ball is going to be key. As you can see here, I'm using a navigator. And we're putting our ball guideline just kind of on the right-hand side of the pin there. And when you pull your rings, you want to do an 1159 pull angle. That's pretty important on this particular shot. And you can see when you get that camera angle, that's really good. And we snuck it in there, exactly where we were aiming. Now I'll show you another one when I pulled out the Zeus ball, which is my favorite ball in the game, because if you pay attention to my YouTube picture, I guess you can see I have a huge tattoo on my right arm of Poseidon. I'm huge in the Greek mythology. I think it's really cool and very interesting. Here, because of the Win 5, I went ahead and just aimed dead center of the cup, but I am using the exact same spin. And boom, this time we're dead center. So there's hole number 5 for you. Hit perfect with that adjustment, and that should almost be an automatic. Now, let's go into this hole. Now, the thing I'm going to tell you about hole number 6 is, again, I've seen a lot of people birdie this hole because they're screwing up the power slice, or they're trying to play on the right-hand side and they don't have enough distance to get to the green, or they're playing on the left-hand side and they try to use a big dog, and they end up in the rough or the sand. So not many people have eagled this hole that I've played against. But we're going to eagle it, and I'm going to tell you how. And you can do this with an APOC, really at any level, or an extra mile at any level. What I want you to do is, you probably want to take notes on this, but you're going to use a Kingmaker, okay? And you're going to go full top spin, full right spin. If you're using an APOC, I want you to pay attention to where I'm lining up at. I'm lining up at the +3 yard mark, and I'm aiming at the middle of the pink bush to begin with. 1, 2, 3, okay? Aiming at the pink bush, spin. Now, this is what you don't see people do on the power slice. I am still adjusting at 10%, and then I'm taking my shot. Full overpower, full right curl. Now, depending on the wind strength, depending on your pull angle, that kind of stuff, you'll either be in the fairway or you're going to be in the rough. It does not matter. Either way, you're going to have an albatross opportunity and a guaranteed eagle. But let me show you something so people don't panic whenever you end up in the rough or even on the fairway, because these trees can get in your way, but they don't get in your way. All right, so I'm going to explain that to you here. I don't want you to panic when you see your ball guideline chopped up. So let me show you here. So you can see right there, see how I have a yellow ball guideline, then I have an orange? Well, that means I'm either hitting branches or the base of the tree or whatever, and my ball's going to drop down into the rough, okay? You're going to be in this position every time, okay? But I don't want you to worry about that, because all I want you to do is move your ball guideline around until you have a full yellow line, okay? And then try to spin your ball close to the hole. Now, let's say you do that, and this tree on the right-hand side gets in your way. Then just back it over to the left. The most important thing, everybody, is don't panic and just make sure you have a full yellow ball guideline. Then you can try to adjust your rings at 0%. If you adjust your rings and your ball guideline goes from yellow to orange, do not take the shot. Just move it until you're full yellow again. And instead of pulling your rings, just use curl, okay? I hope that makes sense. It should. So we're going to watch it again, all right? So there, right there, I'm not full yellow. Okay, now I'm full yellow. So now I'm full yellow. I'm just trying to find a way to spin into the hole and move it around and stay in full yellow. Boom, right there. That's a great ball guideline. Now I can pull my rings, okay? So let's just pretend as I'm pulling my rings, my ball guideline, as I'm pulling close to me, close to the screen, let's just pretend that it turns to orange. What I would do then is I would just push it back up until it was yellow again, and then just use curl to finish the shot. But you're going to be very safe on that hole. Okay, now this is a hole I'm really excited about, hole number 7. We're going to get this one together. Hole number 7, I want you to know you do not want distance on this drive. You want to put a grizzly in your bag. First shot, 20%. Second shot, 15%. Again, I'm using an extra mile 9, but you got to pay attention to my videos because I don't use the top spin. I only use about half of it. So 4.5 top with full right spin, 20% elevation, and then about half of a ball of right curl. And again, we don't want a lot of distance because we want to be in grizzly range. If you hit the ball too far, you're going to be in thorn range if that's the club you use. Whatever, club you use, but for me it's a thorn. I want to be back here because there's a funnel here, everybody. And I don't think a lot of people know that on this hole because I haven't seen a single opponent go for it. But if you go full backspin and a couple bars of right spin, you're going to find this funnel. And I'm just trying to get my ball guideline to be consistent into the pin. So let's pause it for a second and look at that. How do I do this? Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, here we go. All right, so right there. I would have loved to stop right there, but you see how I'm at the top side of the pin? That's a really good developed ball guideline. Even if your ball guideline disappears, you're still going to roll down the hill, It's just nice whenever you can fully visualize it like that. But as you can see here, I moved my target, trying to mess around with it. And the timer started coming on. So I take my shot at 15% at minimum distance of my grizzly. I thought I had it based off this camera angle. But I just burned the top of the cup. All right. So let's find that ball guideline dead center of the hole. And that is a really, really good funnel for us to get a major advantage on dropping this hole, because a lot of people are not going to pick up the eagle on this hole. All right. Hole number 8, no elevation, quarterback, minimum distance. 1.5 to, I did 2 bars of backspin and 1 bar of left side spin on this particular shot. I want you to change it to like 1.5 to 1.8 bars of backspin, but keep the left spin. And we just want to move our ball guideline to the left-hand side. So we'll watch the shot again. But look how close this is. This is one, again, a lot of opponents are struggling on. I think I just had too much backspin there. Had I taken a little bit of the backspin off, then, the ball would have came in a little bit faster and not dipped to the right as much, which is why I think the 1 bar of left spin is good. But look at the ball guideline. It looks like I settle pretty much dead center, aiming at the pin. So I think we can move our yellow ring. So you see how the yellow ring is not touching the sand line? We might be able to move that a little bit to the left and then take our shot and be okay. Hole number 9. Again, the par 5s people are struggling on. I have not had one opponent make an eagle, but we're going to make an eagle. We are going 10% elevation, big topper, big dog. Okay, big topper, big dog. Half a ball of overpower. Don't go crazy with the overpower because you don't want to accidentally go into the sand or clip the rough. As you can see, we're close enough with half a ball of overpower. A full ball of overpower may put us in that situation. This is a good drive with a big dog, or your Cataclysm, whatever you prefer playing with. For me, it's a big dog. This is going to be no problem to get to the green in 2. And you can see here, I used full left spin, and I used almost 2 bars of top spin on this shot. We pull the rings with no elevation. We fire off a perfect shot, and it comes in really nice. And I think we settle upon the fringe here for an easy chip in. Oh no, that's an easy putt. Okay, so that's the putt one. Now let me show you another shot, because today I got more distance on my drive because I think I hit the ball perfect, so I got some more distance. Now you'll see here I end up using some backspin. So you got to be able to just kind of gauge how far you get on your drive. Because again, this green, it slopes down really heavy. You don't want to put too much topspin on your big dog or else you'll fly off the green. And here I used almost a bar of backspin, and you'll see that was really good because we almost sneaked this in here for the albatross. Okay, everybody, that's it. We had a really good round. There's a lot of shots we can work on together, and we got some good lines on this tournament. Please subscribe, and please help donate to my channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you.